Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Business Central. And in this video, we're going to learn simply about the type of pages and actions in Business Central and how pages relate to different other objects in Business Central. So what you're looking at now is is one particular type of a page known as the role center. Role center, this is called the role center. Role center includes the objects that can be accessed by a given role, and that role can be assigned to a given user so that users are able to access what they are supposed to be accessing. Now, if I just go into a detail about the role center has sections, it has layout, it has actions. And when you talk about actions in a layout, there is one area known as the sections right here, and it has groups. If you open, for instance, the sales group, it has this number of actions. These are actions that when you click, it opens up a whole new level of a different type of a page. And then we also have this part here. This is called area embedding. This part where I'm passing my pointer through. This one is just a part in the layout known as the headline, or rather the headline. It's just a part, and you can have several parts. These other ones are just they are part. These are actions. Of course, they do use various kind of functions to give you these numbers, and these numbers comes from a table somewhere. When you click, it opens up another objects, and or rather another object, or rather another type, a page type from Business Central. The second type of a page that I want to demonstrate in this case is called the list. List is a page, and as I need to make you informed that pages are just objects that make users, or rather create an environment for users to interact with the data. You understand that the data are stored in the database tables, but to access them, you need to talk to those data through a page, or rather pages. So this is a list. It's so simple. It has nothing complicated, made up with the columns and rows, and of course some few actions. These are called the actions in the list, and it uses a property called a repeater. In when we'll do a development part of this, or rather the backend part of this, we'll demonstrate where the repeater is and where the actions are. The actions are just at the top here, but of course in the backend they might be somewhere else. And then these actions can still have groups. They can be grouped. Have explained this in some earlier videos on how to have categories on a page. So another third type of a page is called the card. So the card is actually open through you can open through this part here. Maybe let me open progressive home furnishings. This is our scenario. This is our customer, for instance. If you open this customer, it's going to open a different type of a page known as the card, and you can see card is a bit sophisticated when you compare with the list, because the card now gives you more details about particular record. This is just one customer. Of course, it has all the details about the customer, the general information. It has these collapsing features known as these are called the groups. We have the general. This has been explained in some previous videos that we've done. And of course, we have the address information. When you look at the top, you have the actions, and these actions, as explained in a minute ago, they have these groups known as the categories. So categories can be custom, some are standard. For instance, home, this is a standard category. This one, even the new document is a standard, but the customer reports and pricing, and even those in these more actions, these ones, much of them are just the things that you have to do as a developer. And then you see it has some few actions right here. These are custom actions. This is for editing. When you click, it disables. When you click again, it enables the editing of this record. There's this one that can be used to share this page for other users or other apps. This one is used to create a new record. You can use to create a new customer. And this one, when you click this one, it deletes the data right here from the table. And then something else that I need to explain, or rather another type of the page that I need to explain is type of a list, but now specifically it's called a list part. List part is a list that is within another card. Let me use an example of sales order. So sales order, as it opens, this is a list of sales orders from various customers. And this is a list as explained earlier. When you open the list, you are likely going to learn to a card. Okay, it's taking time to open, but then when it opens, it does. Now it has opened the list. As I said, this is our groups, these are actions. Of course, it has some features. These are features that are in the fields. These are just the fields, the dates, the status. This is like a due date. This one is like a posting date. Now, something interesting that I wanted to explain is this part. It's called lines, but you can still change this name to something else. This is just a group name for the lines. So this is a type of a list, but now this is called a list part. A list part also, on its own, it has its own actions. And when we look at the source code, or rather the backend of this, you'll realize that the actions for the list part and the actions of the card and the list are a bit different. So a list part is a list that shows the related records of this document, maybe document number that. But you can still change. You can still have various filters in this section. So that is about the list parts. Maybe some other type of of pages is called the document. The document. Let me just go back to our role center. And I said the role center is also a type. It's a type of a page. So a document page, it's used for transaction that involves header and line structure. For instance, we were looking at a sales order. For instance, it has an header and it also has lines. So that one it qualifies the same as a document, and it also qualifies as a card. For if I click new on this list, it will try to create a new record. You can see this is an empty card, and from the database we assume that nothing has been created. But with the way AL works, there's something that has been created, but it's just on a temporary space. So this is still a document, but you can still see that it has this part, or rather this section. It also has the lines. And for a document, the difference between a card page and a document, a card will likely display the details of a single record. Yeah, let's go to customers. Customers. This is a very good example of a card, because it does not have any lines, it does not have any repeater. And then a good example of a document, so that we get the difference. This is an example of a document, and as you can see, the document is more detailed than the card itself. And there's also another type of a page, or rather type of pages that we were discussing, known as the worksheet. The worksheet, this is used to do a bulk entry of data. Maybe when you want to post some bulk entries of data, like journals, a very good type of a page that you can use is actually the worksheet. And for a general journal, for instance, this is I'll just go to, maybe I'll just search the general journal. This is a very good example of a worksheet. When you look at the general journal, a general journal, it has all these lines. Okay, it has all these lines that you can select account types and whatnot. There are many kinds of those ones. Just trying to create one record here, and then try to create another one. And then when you, of course, it has actions like posting, preview, posting and print, maybe a test report. It has a request page, okay, for approval. Maybe this document has to go for approval, but still don't forget, this is an example of a worksheet page. And it has key properties such as the source table view. Source table view means it has a source table. It has a table that gives data, that give us data, or rather that takes the data. That when we enter the data, it takes the table, the data. When we request for the data, it gives us the data. But now in this case, much of the work that you do here is to enter the data. Of course, it has other properties that involve these ones. It also has like editables. There are fields that are editable, some are not. For instance, you have these ones, they're just actions that are not enabled, but they are visible. We've tried to discuss those kind of terminologies in some previous videos. And then maybe to do a recap, every page has a property known as the source table view. Source table. Source table, it actually links the page to the table that gives the table the data. So the main categories, or rather the major types of pages in Business Central are the list page, the card page, the document, the worksheet, and the role center. And maybe finally, there's something else that may not look like a page, but it is actually a page. It's called the confirmation the dialog box, which asks the user for some data like yes or no. So I'll just go to I'll go to the general journal that we created. We had created like two records, and then I'll try to demonstrate another type of a page known as the confirmation. Oh, sorry, no. Okay, when I click on the post, this is an action. When I click at it, it executes another type of a page. This small thing right here is actually a page which asks you for your feedback, like yes or no. It's called confirmation dialog page. Of course, it has a confirm function, it has a message, and it has an action. This is the message right here asking you, do you want to post the journal lines? No. And then the action is executed when you click on those actions. To my viewers, thank you so much for watching up to this point. Please, if you have not subscribed, this is your time to do a subscription. Like this video, you can subscribe for more of this content and others. Please don't forget to leave a comment in case you have any feedback, any comments. Do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you.